We haven't talked about Glenn Beck that much, right-wing host Glenn Beck, formerly on CNN and formerly on Fox News and all over the place. But he is a big, big Ted Cruz supporter. And after Donald Trump won in the South Carolina Republican primary, Glenn Beck has now urged his Facebook followers to join him and his family in fasting for Republican candidate Ted Cruz, basically like a hunger strike. We have his Facebook post where he made this claim. He says, "I would like to ask you to join me and my family Monday in a fast for Ted Cruz, our country, and the Nevada caucus." I don't really know. I mean, I have so many questions about this. Number one, have hunger strikes ever really achieved anything along these lines? That's question number one. I don't know the answer, but my sense is this type of hunger strike has not really done too much. We've seen these right-wing political hunger strikes a few times, and they've led to very little change or action.
Yes, so Glenn Beck is not Gandhi, nor is this situation anything Gandhi-like in any way.
And number two, if you're going to do it, doesn't it seem like not that big of a thing to do it for just one day? Like, don't you need to say it's going to be longer than a day to even really make people say, wow, that's commitment, totally harebrained, unhinged commitment to a lunatic candidate, but commitment nonetheless. I mean, a one-day hunger strike, it's like, yeah, you're kind of into supporting this, but you don't even care enough to do it for more than a day.
Well, what I would like to encourage Glenn Beck to do is to fast for maybe a month or two.
Right.
And I think that would really secure the nomination for Ted Cruz.
I think that from a merely practical standpoint, this isn't even helping Ted Cruz. Like, in what world will Ted Cruz be helped by the publicity of Glenn Beck not eating for a day in support of Cruz? If I'm on the fence and I go, okay, well, there's Marco Rubio, and then there's Cruz, and Cruz does have Glenn Beck not eating for a day. That just sounds weird. I think I'll support Rubio.
I don't know who. I think all of Glenn Beck's fans are probably already rooting for Ted Cruz. Maybe some of them for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Are there any situations, Lewis, where it would strike you as a good idea not to eat in order to make a political point? Or are you just weakening yourself and making it harder to do anything practical towards your goal?
I cannot envision myself, I cannot envision starving myself. I just don't see, unless it had something to do very specifically with food, maybe that would be valid in that case.
What do you mean?
If you're protesting, I don't know, the use of chemicals and pesticides or hormones in food or something like that, if it has to do with food, maybe that makes more sense, but this does not.